Hi, my name is Alessandro Mastroianni and I'm a composer and sound designer. Welcome to my studio. Halloween is getting really close, so we thought it would be really cool to show you how to create a horror creepy soundscape using the humanizer and concept. Really hope you enjoy it. Alright, here we are. You'll see I've done already most of the work and we'll hear it in a second. But just, to picture a scene, what I had in mind when I scored this was a classic horror movie scene, lady sitting on a chair, doing something relaxing like reading a book, and then all of a sudden she hears a noise and she's terrified and needs to go and check what's happening. Here's how I interpreted all that. Cool. As a massive horror movie fan, it was pretty cool. You'll notice that it was pretty abstract. It's mostly that kind of score that where the line between sound design and music is really blurred. I've used concept for most of it, and then I created the beastly creature sounds with my own voice and the humanizer, and we'll get to that in a second. To create a horror score, you always need to start from a pulsing bass. That's kind of the staple of horror film music, and to do that I didn't have to go very far at all. I just went straight into concept, loaded the first default patch, and it sounded amazing right off the bat. There are a lot of really cool modulations happening on this one. Didn't change anything, and this is how it comes straight off the box. Moving on, I've used this other preset from Concept, which is called Crossfader. So you can kind of crossfade between two different samples, and it's really cool to create this kind of abstract atmospheres, and this is how it sounds on its own. And this one uses some really cool nature sounds and applies some granular processing to it. What I've changed here is that I've signed, compared to the preset, is that I've signed the module to the cutoff of the second filter, and I kind of just drew the MIDI data in over here so that I could open this filter very slowly, and that what contributes to this feeling of tension, and it kind of doesn't open up until the very end. And you can tell that it's a nature recording. It's like some rain going on over there, but it's like processed in a very cool way, so you get this kind of thing in between sound design and music that I personally absolutely love. Which is kind of the same thing for this other sound over here. Another very noisy sound, but that uses some granular processing, again mixed with some oscillators. And here there is this impulse response in the convolution reverb that really makes the sound. Just without and just with. It has like a very interesting resonance to it that I thought worked really well in this context. Next, this is one of my favorite presets ever in Concept Boat Stringscape. And this is another preset that I modified slightly. All I've done here is that this one comes with a free trigger mode, and I kind of wanted to bit sync it a little bit. So to do that, I pressed on sync, and then I set up the trigger mode to note and set it up so that the region is 4 beats. And again, this opens up at the very ending together with the filter of the rainforest track, and ends up in that massive growl of the beast. And that's what we're gonna do next. For this one, I've recorded myself through the Humanizer, which is always absolutely amazing. And here's what I recorded. Okay, as usual, I had way too much fun with that. And that was just my voice processed through the Demon preset. Right off the box. It didn't change anything at all. The only thing that they've added was a reverb rather than as a send straight into the track, and they've just used the convolution reverb that comes bundled in with Cubase and Nuendo, which is called Reverence, and loaded up an impulse response with a reverse tail. So they gives this kind of cool echo to it, which I thought worked particularly well for this track. And here, what I really wanted to do is that I kind of only wanted this in the beginning. So to do that in Nuendo and Cubase, you just need to make sure that the W for write automation is activated, and while the track is going, you can just mix. You can just touch a parameter that you want to do, and then it appears in the automation lane, and then you can kind of write it down a little bit. And in particular, I didn't want this effect on the very last bit, so I think this would be more similar to what I had in mind. It's still there, and you'll see that it goes to 0 on the end. Let's hear it here. Yeah, we want this really in your face, so that's cool. And let's go to the next channel. So to do this, I literally just duplicated what I recorded on the previous track, and I doubled it up with this Many Ghosts preset. This kind of add that kind of chorusy quality to it, which will work really well when layered to the main one. It's this sound over here. And together they sound like that. This was a lot of fun to make. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please do yourself a favor and head over kronosaudio.com and download the trial versions of both Concept and the Humanizer. They're really awesome tools. And happy Halloween. I'll see you next time.